Hello everyone, Joe from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to show you my Hercule deck profile. So obviously we gotta ready ourselves because Hercule's the greatest fighter in the world and the most powerful, beats Cell and pulls buses for a living, I don't know. Well, he does, most of it is fake, but who cares.
Apology about the background, there's traffic.
Yeah, traffic in the background, ignore. So, the idea of the Hercule deck comes more from the awakened side, but also plays to his unawakened side, so that's why there's some really odd cards in here, but I'll explain as we go along. So, unawakened, he has 1k power, so it means he's the strongest leader there is. And he has the active battle once per turn. If it's your turn, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck. If there are any battle cards, you may choose to combo them. Then place the remaining cards in your drop area. So it's not when this guy attacks, it's just when anything attacks. So if you just want to put a little bit into like a 15k attacker but you don't want to use your hand, you can use Hercule's ability. So it gives you options, and because you're coming from the top of the deck, you don't know what you'll get. Which is why it's good to have some free cost combos with the occasional 10k, and also explains why the super combo is the one that we use. So he awakens by drawing 2 cards into Saiyan Delusion Hercule, which this alone is kind of why I wanted to make the deck. It just looks so hilarious. I was like, he's going to be broken, and meh? I wouldn't say he's broken, but I wouldn't say he's weak either. So he has the active main once per turn. Place all cards from your hand to drop. You can't activate this with no cards in hand, so you can't be like, oh, I place all on drop, I have no cards, I'll carry on. So you have to dump something, even if it's 1 card. This card gains 50k power for the duration of turn. If you place 5 or more cards in the drop area of this skill, this card gains triple strike for the duration of the turn. So obviously the idea is when you're going into this, you have 5 cards or way to draw up to 5, just so that you can do that 50k triple strike. That's the idea of the deck, is you're creating pressure with Hercule, and he has to stand when it attacks draw cards, so that helps you kind of fuel up after you've done this ability. So going into the extra cards, all these are 1-drop extra cards, by the way. So we have 2 copies of full power energy. So this deck, because Hercule's green, I've gone for green blue with a little bit of black for the overall. So this is our green negate card, because we can't need it with Hercule being so weak. So it's counter attack, negate the attack, then choose it to 1 battle card, opponent's battle card with energy cost of 1 or less, and KO it. So, like I said, it's mostly known as a negate. We have 2 copies of King Vegeta's surprise attack. I really like this card for green, and it helps with the stuff that we want to bring up later, which not only forces discard but can also help us draw back up. Which is also the other thing that you do with Hercule, is you just replenish your hand, or you hit your opponent's hand so that they have less to stop you with. And so yeah, King Vegeta's surprise attack is active battle, choose 1 of your battle cards, it gains 10,000 and revenge till the end of turn. So it just helps us protect cards and kill the opponent's cards. Next we have 2 copies of Senzu Bean. So Senzu Bean, obviously a staple in the game. I'd say for any blue deck, but a deck will run a tiny bit of blue just to play Senzu Bean. I mean, I did it with Jared, but who cares. So this is active battle, choose 1 of your cards, it gains 5,000 power, and then choose 2 of your energy, switch them to active mode, so just any 2 energy back to active. It's a really good card. And we want just to give Hercule a bit more power. And then finally we have 4 copies of Whis' Coercion. So the deck does run 6 negates, also runs a fair bit of block power. Again, a staple in the game because of blue. So counter attack, negate the attack, and then choose one of your energy and switch it to active. So gives us our energy back that we paid for it, or can give us a different one. So I'll move on to the battle cards, starting with the 1-drop, which we have 4 of, and that is Broly Dawn of Rampage. So tiny bit of a Broly engine in here just to force some discard. And of course he's 1-drop 5k, and when you place cards, look at top 7, add a green Broly, and then shuffle your, add a green Broly hand and shuffle deck. So at the moment every Broly's green, besides the one leader card, but meh. And yeah, so we use this, search out the other Broly forces discard, win-win. Next we have, with the 2-drops, 2 copies of Courageous Heart Yajirobe. So Yajirobe I still just love as a blocker, because he's a blocker with revenge, so it's just like, I'm going to stop that attack and I'm going to kill the attacker, unless I got barrier or it's the leader or indestructible. But anyway, so very useful. It means that we get rid of a threat on Hercule, which, like, as you can see by the power, is literally anything is a threat to Hercule. Like, you can't get weaker than 1k, so anything can threaten Hercule. Even if they just throw a 5 into it, it's still a threat, so this gets rid of threats for us. Next in the 2-drops, I'm going to explain these two together. So we have 3 of each of these cards as well. We got 3 Shu and 3 Yamcha. So the moment I put these cards on the table, by the way, guys, Matt has face palmed. I'm pretty sure he's cleaned the window of his brains because of how hard he's face palmed. So there is a really weird reason these are in here, and that is they are fodder. They're both 0-drop 5k combos. They both have 15k attack. They're respectively green and blue, which is what we want in our energy. Because of Hercule's unawakened ability, we can combo them if they come from the top of the deck. Because of the second one, we can we can dump them, or we can combo them after we've got the 50k triple strike going. And they're just a perfect throwaway energy, so you don't have to lose anything valuable or that you might want later. It's just like, what do I have? Oh wait, I have Yamcha in my hand. Charge this. So they are literally 6 throwaway cards. And I know there's other ones I could have gone for, but I feel like I had to pick these 2 out of all the vanillas that I had, because they're also shown throughout the anime to be 2 of the most useless characters. So it's I'm going to pick 2 characters that think they're really strong but are actually kind of useless compared to everyone else, with Hercule, who's also in that mindset. So it's just going to keep them weaklings together. But yeah, that's why I run them. Just perfect throwaway cards. No one's going to miss Shu. So finally in the 2-drops we have our super combo, which is 4 copies of Supreme Kai of Time World's Protector. So, like I said, this deck uses some overwhelm because of how Hercule can work, and there's overwhelm cards in here that really help. So she's really useful in that factor as well, because it means that I also don't have to awaken Hercule. I can keep him on the 1k. Because he's so weak as well, my opponent might just go willy-nilly with attacks, just this is so funny, oh my god, I can hit you with anything, or no wait, I can hit you with anything. I'm not going to, because of how easy it is to kill you. So that's why we run her. It's when you come with this card, if there are 5 more cards in your warp, draw a card, gain 10k for the duration of the turn. So yeah, like I said, just a super combo that doesn't rely on you being awakened. It's good. I'd say you could run her in any deck, but so long as you're overwhelming enough. Don't force it in there. If it works for deck, run her. If it doesn't, just stick to another super combo. but it works for this deck is the main thing. So next in the free drops we have 4 copies of energy powered Go tanks. So like the Brody, this is just in here to force discard because it's free drop 15k, and when this card attacks the leader, your opponent chooses a card from the hand and it puts it in the drop area. So it's just there to force some discard, which means it's easier for our attacks to go through. And we have 2 copies of Relentless Destruction Mirror. So you play them with overround free or you pay free energy. And also when this card is played using overround, your opponent chooses a card in their hand and places it in drop. So again, more discard. This one doesn't require energy, it just fills your overround, which I've shown is useful. And then it's just a 15k pressure, or you can just combo with them straight afterwards, which helps out. So like I said, again, just there for the discard. Next in the free drops we have 2 copies of Time Patrol Trunks, which ideally in this deck you would run 4 of. So Time Patrol Trunks, overround free. Also when you play this card using overround, look at the top 2 cards from your deck, choose up to one of them, add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards to top or bottom of your deck in any order. But you just place it on top or bottom, any other part doesn't really matter. So the reason we run Trunks, and I would run 4 of him, but it's about having 4, is because it works so well with our leader. So on the Unawakened side, it lets us see what we can combo with and be like, okay, well, I'll add this to hand and combo with this card. And then on the Awakened side, it pretty much does the same thing. So we're like, okay, dump hand, do extra like swing card that lets me draw. Okay, I've got Trunks, play Trunks. Okay, this is what we got coming up next. Great. Or you just play Trunks and then dump the hand because you're like, okay, well, I can put myself back up to 5 because Trunks fills my 5th card. And then, oh look, my super combos next. I'll put that to top of deck, obviously, so that when I swing, I'm just like, cool, draw, immediately super combo. So Trunks really helps hold this deck together, and like I said, if you're making Hercule, run 4 of him if you can. If not, alright, 2 minimum, 3 a push. So yeah, obviously this isn't ideal. Oh well. So next we have 2 copies of Unrelenting Assault Trunks. So this is what I would swap up for Time Patrol, just straight away, because he's overrun free, and also when this card is to warp from your battle area or deck, add it to your hand. So a plus side of him is that we can keep overwhelming, so we can keep that going and build it back up. If we're a little bit behind for our super combo, we can just like, okay, cool, well that's gone, I add it back, play it next turn. But other than that, he's like another throwaway combo card, and what we swap out for Time Patrol Trunks in an ideal world. So for the 4 drop, we have 3 copies of Whis the Sacred Guard. So, like I said, energy cost 4, 20k shield, well, 20k power. It's got blocker, so that's why I said 20k shield. And is part of this can't be carried by opponent skills and doesn't leave the battle area due to skills, so they have to beat his face basically. And it's there just as our protection for Hercule because again he's not a very strong leader and this is a very strong blocker. So moving on to the 5 drops, we have 3 copies of Expanding Energy Android 17. So 17 has 20k power and double strike, and the main reason for them is his auto skill of when this card attacks, draw cards until you have 4 in your hand. So obviously if we've just done our leader's ability, we make sure we play him out first, or we have him played out, and then we do Hercule, swing, immediately draw 4, Hercule swings, we got a 5 back as our cost for it next time. So this is why you run him. You just add cards back. You run them at 3 so that you can see him, and like after you've used one, you can't really swing the other and gain 4 more cards because you've already got 4, unless you've been comboing into it. So he's just helpful for building the hand back up. Next, similarly, we have 3 copies of Exterminating and Energy Android 18. So she's also a 20k with double strike. The difference is that when her ulti is when this card attacks the leader, your opponent chooses a card from their hand and places it in the drop. So this is the another bit of discard forcing. So we got 17 to build up the hand, 18 to hit your opponent's hand, which is useful for Hercule. Lastly, in the 5 drops, we have 3 copies of Rampaging Lifeform Bio Broly. So Bio Broly is another 20k double striker. You can evolve for 4 energy onto a Broly, so obviously that's why we have the 1 drop. And he has the auto, when the card evolves into this card, your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand and places them in the drop area. So more discard. Like I said, we're going for discard and hand building in this deck, with Overwhelm to boot. So that's why we have Broly in, to force that discard so that we can begin our attacks. Finally, in the 7 drops, we have 2 copies of Piercing Super Saiyan 2 Sun Gohan. So 7 drop, 25k power, and evolves for 6 onto a Gohan, childhood Gohan that is. So he's in here for his ability. If we could build up to him and tie it in with Hercule, it kind of becomes almost like an instant win combo to a sense. Because his auto of when you play this card and your opponent combos during the duration of that turn, choose all of your opponent's battle cards in the battle area and combo cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and place them in the drop. So that means if your opponent super combos, it just goes straight to the drop. All they've done is draw a card. And similarly, you kill their battle cards, so you can kill their blockers if they have any that are weak enough. Anything that might just be a threat in general. And the main reason is the combo kill. Just being like, cool, can't combo with that, can't combo with that, can't combo with that. And like I said, if you can do Gohan and Hercule together, it's just, okay, so I have a 25 double strike that you have to be careful when you combo against. I have a 55 double strike that's also killing you, combo cards thanks to Gohan. So, because with Gohan's ability, even if they get rid of it from the board, it's still active. It says for the duration of that turn, it's not for the duration of the turn whilst his card is face up on the field. So, these 2 together can help you finish the game. The only downside is that we're having to pay the hard 7 for this guy, which isn't ideal, but no childhood Gohan would really help out in this deck. So, but yeah, we run 2 of him just in case we can do that. So, with that being said, that is my Hercule deck profile. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments, because that'd be interesting to see if anyone else has tackled this deck. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.